Live from Taft Sports Bar, MGM National Harbor, BetMGM tonight. Ryan Horvath, Trista Crick, PJ Glasser. We got a special guest joining us right now, Nick Kostos from You Better You Bet. We also right now have a 14-3 score on Monday Night Football, San Francisco. George Kittle, longest reception. That one cashes. Nick, you got a little Kittle action tonight. Did you go receiving yards?
Yeah, we had the Kittle receiving yards over at Hitford. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Hey, thanks for coming
on. It's great to be on with you guys. Kittle over receiving yards was great. Now we've got the Cardinals in the red zone, and I'm hoping for either Keontae Ingram, Corey Clement, or Trey McBride to score a touchdown.
What was the McBride price? Do you remember? Was it like 12 or 14?
At BetMGM, it wasn't great.
$290,
it was probably
right?
Yeah, it was like plus like $290 for McBride.
We were looking at that pregame, Ryan, remember? Because we said no Ertz, and that might be the guy. Is McBride.
Well, yeah, he won the Mackey Award last year, second-round pick out of Colorado State. I'm like big-time NFL nerd, so I do like dynasty fantasy football. I have him in like every league. I think he's awesome. And like now is like his time. I have his receiving yards overall, so 22.5. I think he's at 13 right now.
All right, we'll take that. So right now 14-3, 10.5 point spread. San Francisco favored by 10.5. This closed at 10, and the total's up there right now, 48.5. Really quickly, NBA scores. The Cavs up 110-99 on the Hawks. You're looking all right there.
Yeah,
2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Bulls up 69-53 on the Celtics. Bucks up 67-61 on the Blazers. Now Giannis
If I can
does
get a
play.
10, I will. If I can get a 10, I will.
It's 8.5 right now,
Touchdown.
minus 115. Who'd you get in the end zone?
Connor.
Is that Connor?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Oh, God.
He's in.
14-9.
Paige, I'm
And
sure
got
you're
little-
happy.
I am. Needed
Gross. Absolutely gross.
4:19 to go, second quarter. Timberwolves trailed the Heat 60-47. So, Nick, this is your first time in Maryland here at MGM National Harbor. We're here every Monday night.
I've been to Maryland before.
Have you?
Yeah, what do you mean, in my life? I'm from New York, man. You make it like I'm like going to Alaska. Yeah, I've been to Maryland.
I had never been to Maryland before.
I've been to Ravens games. I've been to Orioles games against the Yankees and Giants, respectively. The Yankees always beat the Orioles' ass, which is great. But the Giants-Ravens game I went to was really bad, Eli's rookie year. But, yeah, first time at National Harbor. Badass facility. Love it. This facility's cool. Had a good, nice dinner. Played some blackjack before. Great to be here.
We saw AI earlier.
I saw him 5 minutes ago.
Really?
He's still here?
Yeah, he's still here. Wearing
still kicking, huh?
He's got the blue answers on, like his Reebok sneaker.
That's absolutely OG
Yeah,
power move to
He's
wear
been
your
here
own
since
shoe.
3 a.m.
And he looks like it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
look great.
No,
No.
he's been
Now,
partying
he kicked
too.
my ass, so like I wouldn't say that to his face, but yeah, it doesn't look great.
That's what I said to PJ. You got
Doesn't
to be
look great.
careful.
We
Bowling
want to
ball
know, do
literally
you think
comes flying at your
AI
head.
do you think AI on the roulette table was just putting his chips down on number 3? We thought that'd be kind of cool if he was. He was just playing his number the whole time.
No, I don't think
Just
so.
spreading it around a little bit.
I think he's probably betting on many numbers with each spin. would be my guess.
I'm guessing he's not doing too well if he's been here since 3 a.m.
Yeah,
and
been
he
here a
hasn't
while.
changed
So I would
his
say,
phone.
like,
Although-
insert name of person at the roulette table for 12 hours is not doing well.
Exactly. 2 hours at the roulette tables and now. How are you feeling about your Giants this early on in the season? Guys, off to a nice little start. Hit
Yeah.
the win total.
No, I think they suck, man.
Is Daniel Jones the quarterback of the future?
Why do you always ask me
Because
this
I need to
question?
know now, what do you do next year? Because
Get
if
it-
you go to the playoffs, if you win 11, 12 games, let's say, right?
I don't think they're going to win 11 games.
All right, let's say
but-
9, 10 games.
Okay,
You
like-
get into the playoffs,
Well,
right?
let me ask you this: the Giants still have to play Washington twice and Philadelphia twice.
I think they
the
split
Giants
with
are
Washington.
The Giants are 7-3. Washington 6-5. Who finishes with a better record, the Giants or Washington?
I'm going to
think
say
Washington.
Giants. I think New York.
I think Washington's definitely better than the Giants.
Well, 'cause
Giants.
you lose multiple guys now to injury. You lose Wandale. You've obviously traded Kadarius Toney, even though he was kind of like
Adoree
a
Jackson's
It
out
won't
4 to
matter
6
'cause
weeks
Brian
now.
Daboll, football genius, will figure out a way.
Maybe
to get it done.
they're going to get slammed on Thursday. So yeah, like it's been a really fun season. Also, I feel like it's done. Like they're done. I think they're done.
Wow.
But it's been fun so far.
So do you address the quarterback position in the draft?
I think like let's kind of like see what happens. I think you could maybe like bring Jones back on like a short-term deal. Like I think a lot still has to be determined. I don't know if we have the answer to this question yet.
That's fair.
Do you think they cover the 9 against Dallas
No.
on Thursday?
No.
Wow.
You do not.
No. I just so like I make my spreads in the NFL. I made the game 10.5. I think Dallas needs to be more than a 10-point favorite. How are they going to move the ball? Like how are they going to like score points in the game? I have a hard time figuring that out. No Wandale is huge, not because he's great, but because they don't have anything else. Saquon's great. Also, he's only one person. I think the offense is really trending in the wrong direction right now. Now, like the number's 9, I would really like to tease Dallas, but like that's out of range right now. if I had to bet the game, I would only bet Dallas. I would never bet the Giants. It's Cowboys or nothing. I think the Cowboys, it'll be like when I was like 10 years old all over again. Like Emmitt Smith and the Cowboys ruining my Thanksgiving.
Well, the interesting thing, too, is if you look at the Giants versus the Lions last week, one of the worst rush defenses in the league, and you've got 22 yards rushing for Saquon, which, you would think that would be the game plan against Dallas because their rush defense hasn't been great all season long, but they've sort of figured that out now by containing Dalvin.
Now, I think this is what you want if you want to bet Dallas. So neither team practiced today. It's like a walkthrough and it's like an estimation on the injury report. Parsons didn't practice today, left the game yesterday. If Parsons doesn't play, I think this could go down to 8.5, in which case you just tease Dallas. Dallas wins by 3, you win the teaser leg. Yeah. But it's Dallas or nothing. This game is my favorite game of next week. I'm pointing to the television for people listening on the radio. Steelers Colts next Monday night. Indianapolis is it's 2.5 or 3. I bet Pittsburgh 3 last night. I would still bet Pittsburgh 2.5. I think the Steelers are going to win the game. But I have thoughts on all the games. We can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, I like Steelers +3 quite a lot as well.
Do we just take Jets unders now?
Definitely this week. I've been saying for a month now, the Jets, if they don't have the best defense in the league, it's the second or third best. Their defense is sick. That game's really interesting because it looks like it's going to be Mike White and Trevor Siemian, if I had to guess who the quarterbacks are going to be. And the Jets will be a 4.5-point favorite. And I think that the Jets are going to win 20-3. And I'm going to end up betting the Jets.
What do you make of Bengals-Titans? Cincinnati 1.5-point favorites on the road. The Titans in these games where the spread's 1-3 are just absolutely unbelievable. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, they weren't in the divisional round when I laid 2.5 on the open against them against Cincinnati, and they lost 19-16 at a close 4, which sucked. So I had PTSD looking at this game. Well, I'll ask you guys a question. So, do we think Jamar Chase is going to play? He's practicing now.
I don't know if he's going to play this week.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right, so let's say he does. Let's say Thursday it's announced Jamar Chase is playing. What happens to the point spread?
What do you think? 1.5, 2?
I think 2.5.
I think probably 2.5 or 3.
I think 3.
So kind of my thought.
3 for Chase?
Maybe. And if it is 3, I'm going to bet Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think Cincinnati favored in this range is right. I think either team favored by 3, I would bet the other side. Otherwise, I'll probably pass the game.
What about this one? You got Green Bay 7-point dogs, and I've actually been on them the last couple weeks as dogs, but I think this is a terrible matchup going against the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles could run the ball, number 2 rushing offense. Green Bay last in DVOA against the run. I don't know. You want to talk about how the Giants are going to move the ball and score points. How the hell is Green Bay going to move the ball and score points? And I know
the Giants, Christian Watson would be the best receiver on the Giants immediately.
Yeah, you're right about that because a couple weeks ago I called it the worst wide receiver room in the league.
I mean, it's still not good, but he's awesome.
Yeah, that is true. When he actually hangs onto the ball and runs the right route.
Stop it. He's good.
This is the truth. And you would think they'd be able to run the ball against the Eagles, but, I mean, we have these matchups, these games where Aaron Jones has 4 carries going into the second half. So I want to know how Green Bay moves the ball. What would you do here? What would you make this number?
Eagles more than 7.
Okay.
Ken brought up a good point today, so I haven't bet it yet. I would only bet Philadelphia. It's Rodgers in spots like this, getting so many points. That's pretty appealing. We bet them against Buffalo at 10.5. They lost by 10, covered the spread, whatever. Now look, I bet them on Thursday, but that's different. You need them to win by 4 to win that bet. Or I think we bet it under 3, but the closing spread, you need them to win by 4. You need them to win the bet. Here, you don't need them to win. You need them to lose respectably. So I think that'll be appealing to people. So curious where this will close. Maybe 6.5. I would only bet the Eagles in the game. It's going to be Philadelphia or nothing, but it might be nothing.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Chargers matchup against the Cardinals? Do you kind of need to see how this game shakes out? No.
Nope. I just need players to be healthy. I want to make sure a couple things. What's the number? 3.5? Okay, I'm going to bet Arizona. I need to make sure that Kyler's going to play, which I think he probably will. I need Hopkins to make it through this game unscathed, and Hopkins is going to play. And I need Hollywood Brown to also play, who was activated off IR, not yet on the 53-man roster. He was close to playing tonight, which tells me that I think he's going to play. Also, the coach is trying to save his job, and so is the GM. I think Hollywood will play. If all 3 play and the number's above 3, it's an easy bet for me on the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. Easy. I make the game a pick'em. Ken makes it Chargers -2.5, so he would bet Arizona also. But I think Arizona could win the game, so I would take the Cardinals.
What do you make of Seattle -3.5 at home against Vegas? Do you think that win against Denver in overtime, they're still playing hard for McDaniels? They're still trying to finish out the season, or you like Seattle off the bye?
It's a no bet for me. I think the line is in the right range. Seattle should be more than a 3-point favorite, less than 6. We're in that range right now, so Seattle -3 I would bet. I would bet Raiders +6, and I think anywhere in between, I think I pass the game.
We were talking about just how fun and exciting the Dolphins have been. Do you have anything that, like, any awards futures on any like, say, MVP for Tua, McDaniel?
We got
Coach of the
Tyreek
Year?
Offensive Player of the Year at good numbers from like 6 weeks ago when he first started on this rise, which is great. I think he could. He's got to go for over 2,000 yards to win the award. I'm worried that Mahomes is just going to win both because he's going to break Peyton Manning's single-season passing yards record. And, like, no one's talking about that yet, but he's on pace to do that. As far as the game on Sunday goes, I think I would only bet Houston, but I would very much like to not bet Houston. So I think I'll pass.
What do you think about Patriots-Vikings? Pat's 3-point dogs in this game. I know it's in Minnesota. The total's 42.5. What would you do here? This is one of my favorites this week.
Yeah, so we had Drew Dinsick, the whale capper, one of our favorite guests, came on the show today. Does great stuff for NBC Sports Edge and Deep Dive Podcast. We've been had him on our show for years. I really respect his opinion. His favorite bet of the week, he thinks the Patriots are going to win the game, and that made me a little upset because I like Minnesota. Now I want to make sure that Jefferson's good to go, and like Darius Smith is going to be good to go, which I think he is. I made the game 4, and like maybe I'm the idiot here. I could be. I like Minnesota. I'll bet the Vikings, and I'll probably be cursing into my turkey on Thursday night when the Patriots beat them outright. But I like Minnesota in the game.
How much of that is narrative about the beatdown that they just got?
I don't think any from me or from Drew, but you will definitely have people that will like the Patriots for that reason, and then confirmation bias will be a hell of a drug if and when the Patriots win. They'll be like, well, I knew it, because the Vikings. Also, the Cowboys blew a 2-touchdown lead against the Packers and then beat the Vikings by 50 on Sunday. So it means nothing.
You know what? We love the NFL, obviously. What do you got World Cup? You got any futures or anything tomorrow?
Yeah, can you bring up the odds board? I'll tell you what my bets are.
I got you. I actually almost texted you today.
Okay. All right, so Denmark, Tunisia. This under price is juiced way big here.
Okay.
So find a way to play the under in this game.
So total would be, my bad, this is really weird. You got number of goals, so you got to like mess around with it. I believe it would be 2.5 because it's -120 and then -175 to the
yeah,
under.
like I would want to find a
obviously.
way to play like the under in this game.
Okay.
So here's the thing with Denmark. They are in with Tunisia. Tunisia's in a group with both Denmark and France.
Yeah.
So Australia is probably the worst team in the entire tournament. So if you're Tunisia, your path to qualifying to getting out of the group stage into the knockout round, you need to beat Australia and you need at least one result, meaning to draw or win against Denmark or France. Tunisia is a defensive team. They are going to park the bus the entire game and play like 11 back. I would play the under against Denmark, so Denmark, Tunisia under. I have no play in Argentina, Saudi Arabia. Ken likes the under a little bit.
Okay.
Thinks Argentina might be a little nervy in this game. A lot of pressure on them. One of the tournament favorites here. Saudi Arabia is going to park the bus the whole game. He likes the under. That's at plus money. I think Poland will beat Mexico. I think this is Poland's time to break through and get past a group stage into the knockout stage of an international tournament. This Mexico team is not like your vintage Mexico team. I also like Lewandowski to score a goal at plus 150. Hashtag BetSquare, don't care. And then Australia, worst team in the tournament. Benzema's out, we don't care. France is still uber talented. Double result, France to be winning at halftime and also win the game. And then France -1.5 on the Asian handicap, -125.
Love it.
Ooh.
Appreciate that.
Like
I'm going to have
that
to
as
go
well.
back and listen to that podcast.
Yes.
Well, you got to get the under in on that Denmark game.
Yeah, got to do it now.
8 a.m. tomorrow.
Got to do it now.
Nick,
yeah.
real quick, want to squeeze in some college football between Michigan and Ohio State and USC Notre Dame. Would you rather take Notre Dame as a dog
What's the line in the USC Notre Dame game?
6? And then you have
Take
Michigan
Notre Dame,
plus 7.5 against Ohio State.
Yeah, I'd probably take Notre Dame. I like Marcus Freeman as an underdog. I don't like him, and even though they won 44-0 on Saturday, I like Marcus Freeman getting points because Marcus Freeman sits like some of us sit up at night and fantasize about some things. Marcus Freeman fantasizes at night about sending out the field goal unit.
What do you think?
I like betting coaches like that as underdogs.
That's
Yeah,
so true.
that's a good theory. What about TCU? We're under the mindset that they got through Texas, they got through Baylor. Now everybody thinks they're going to be okay. Do you think Iowa State gives them a game this
What's
week?
the point spread?
That's
PJ, I pay no attention to college football at this time of the week. What's the spread of the game?
That's 9.5.
Yeah, I'll take TCU.
Okay.
I don't know.
Who would be your, and from a watchability
I got nothing for you. I respect the question. I just don't have a good answer.
All good.
from a watchability standpoint,
There you go, McCaffrey.
who do you think top 4 in the college football playoff? Just from not from lines, not from just pure watchability top 4.
Watchability?
Yeah, so Georgia obviously
Georgia,
won.
Ohio State, USC. Well, the problem is that
USC is fun.
Georgia's going to annihilate all these teams, so the games aren't going to be fun. I guess Alabama would probably have to be in there just because they would have the best game against Georgia probably. I don't know. feel like it's going to suck. I think it's going to be really bad.
Georgia bores the hell out of me. Before we let you go,
Like Georgia Ohio State is the best matchup. Like that's what if you want the best game, that's the best game. Like imagine Georgia Michigan.
Yeah.
We saw that Georgia's going to murder Michigan.
hey, who do you trust in the NFC? Dallas? Or are you all in on the Eagles? You got to have one team.
Who do I trust in the NFC?
Yeah, there's got to be somebody.
I'm going to give you a really bad answer.
Yeah. Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buccaneers.
That's what I'm saying. All right, we'll wrap
my
it up.
Buccaneers.
BetMGM tonight. We got Ken Barkley joining us next here from Tap Sports Bar, MGM National Harbor.